Good morning, everyone. I'm Mrs. Heineman, and we wanted to bring you all together today as a group just to briefly go over course selection for next year. In the past, we've gone into classrooms, but we thought this would be a great way to bring everybody together and go over the important pieces, things you should remember. As I said, I'm Mrs. Heineman. This is Mrs. Koya, and in the back is Mrs. Mooney and Mrs. Nyer. I'm sure you know all of us, but just wanted to give a little introduction. So as you guys all know, your high school transcript includes all of the courses you've taken in 9th through 12th grade. So wherever you're going after high school, whether it be a job, vocational school, the military, college, they will look at your transcript. So you want to continue taking some rigorous courses in 12th grade. But all of the grades you've had, 9th through 12th grade, do go on that transcript, and they stay with you forever. So that's one thing to think about for this year. Keep up the good work. Your grades at the end of your junior year are really the grades that colleges see. They will see what you're taking next year, but their first glance at your application is going to include 9th through 11th grade. So it's really important to pull out your best work this year as well. The courses that you select and that are recommended for you provide you with many opportunities. Just briefly, what road will you take? You really want to start focusing in on what's your next step after high school. Is it going to be a college or a university? Or maybe the military? How about a vocational program? Some of you are in vocational school now. You can still go next year, start in 12th grade, and finish the program after you graduate. Or you can go to vocational school as an adult after you graduate from high school. They have many programs. They have the same ones that you and your friends may be attending now, and then they have adult programs. Some of those programs are shorter in length after you graduate because you can spend more hours in them every day. So you may be able to complete an entire vocational training program in 1 year after graduation. So if you have any questions about that, please come down and see your counselor. Preparing for graduation in college. So you've seen all these acronyms before, the PARC. Everybody has to pass the PARC or another test that will take place of the PARC. That could be the PSAT, the SAT, the ASVAB, the AccuPlacer. So just briefly, the PARC is the new high school graduation requirement. The PSAT is the practice SAT, which everyone should have taken. We will be giving out your results next week. Some of you may have accessed them online for this year. If you haven't, don't worry, we will be handing out the hard copy of the scores next week. The SAT is another way to meet that requirement. The SAT, in addition, is used as a test for colleges to look at in terms of your readiness and placement for college acceptance. ACT, the same thing. A lot of colleges will look at that as a college readiness assessment, and they'll use that in terms of deciding who they're going to bring in along with your transcript. The ASVAB is a military entrance exam. We offer that here at Pinelands to our students. The scores do not go to the military unless you choose for them to do so, but it is another avenue for one, trying to meet the PARC requirement, but also to figure out if the military is for you, and it also does an assessment of what kind of careers would be good for you. So the ASVAB is a great thing to do. And don't worry, we're not sending those scores to the military unless you want them to. The AccuPlacer, a lot of colleges use the AccuPlacer as their placement readiness test for English and math at the college level. We're also offering it here as another measure to meet the requirement for the PARC. So some of you have already been exposed to that. Others will still be exposed to it this year if you have not met your requirement. So we'll be working with you on all those scores. If you have any questions, please come down and see your counselor. Okay, graduation requirements, plain and simple. You need 125 credits to graduate. You need 4 years of English and physical education and health, 3 years of social studies, math, and science, 1 year of a world language, 1 year of visual and performing arts, 1 year of a career education, consumer, and family life skills class, and a half year of financial literacy. This is just to meet the requirement for graduation. If you're going to a four-year college, you still want to consider taking an additional math and science and even a history in your senior year. Visual and performing arts, if you still need to meet this requirement, these are the courses that will meet that. I would think everybody already was handed out an elective sheet. It was multiple pages describing all of our electives. The last page does have this spelled out as to what meets the visual and performing arts. Career, education, consumer, family, and life skills. These are the courses that meet that requirement. Financial literacy. You can take KEYS, AP macroeconomics, or AP microeconomics to meet that requirement. We do have new electives here. Some of you may have seen them when you visited the tables during the elective rush, but I'm just going to briefly review them. We have the American Short Story, which is a semester course. This is a course that will expose students to many American short stories written in the 20th century. There'll be themes of justice, individuality, and naturalism, which will be explored, and you will examine pieces for the links to the American dream. That's a course Ms. Gleason is planning to teach, so if you have questions, please see her. Then we have Genres of Writing 1, Genres of Writing Workshop 2. These are described in detail in the elective packet, and that's Ms. Martelli is teaching those courses as well. They are full-year courses, and the Genres of Writing Workshop 2 is something you just need to get approval to go into. You would have to pass on a writing sample to Ms. Martelli for approval. History of Sports and American Culture. That's a semester course, and Mr. Ash is going to be teaching that, and that's going to examine the history of sports and its impact on culture from the colonial times to present. Youth movements in American history, Mr. Saunders. That's going to deal with pop culture. In this course, students will learn about social, economic, and political factors that contribute to youth culture in America. Film appreciation, that's with Ms. Dunphy, and that's a full-year course, and you're going to be screening different movies, looking at film excerpts, and kind of studying the history, forms, and functions of film. And home maintenance. This is a new course with Mr. Luby. That's going to be dealing with more specific things than just general house construction. How to do little electronic repairs, outlets, what else? Things around the house. A wide range of DIY projects. So if you're interested in kind of working around the house and fixing things, that might be a good course for you. Okay, what's the procedure? Most of you probably already received a course recommendation sheet. It had your name and the academic courses that the teachers are recommending for next year. If you haven't gotten that, your English teacher may have it. If not, come down and see your guidance counselor. What you need to do is on the bottom, put in the electives. We are requesting that you put in at least 5 in the order of preference that you'd like to have for next year. Please also review the academic courses that were laid out for you to make sure that they're the correct course and the correct type, CP or honors. And if you have any questions in terms of what would be best for you, please see your counselor. You do need a parent signature on these forms, and we're asking that you return them if you can. Tomorrow would be great, or even by Monday. Please, again, review the academic courses and put in your top 5 electives. All right, for next year, our courses that we're going to have are either going to be honors and AP, college prep, or small group instruction. So we're not going to have the general section anymore. For seniors, this will be all of you for next year. For seniors who have met the required credentials for graduation, there is the possibility of early dismissal. You must have a verified job with a note from both parent and employer, or be attending the Ocean County College Jump Start program, meaning you're taking college courses after school or at night. And you must provide us with a college schedule and a parent note before we can change your schedule to early dismissal, meaning leaving at lunchtime. Okay? What classes do I need to attend a 4-year college? You should be enrolled in college prep or honors courses to attend a competitive 4-year college. Consider taking college courses through OCC's Jumpstart program. Come see your counselor if you need information. Also, at the end of this year, we will know which juniors are going to be eligible for the New Jersey STARS program, which is a program that offers the top 15% in the graduating class free tuition at OCC for the first 2 years. College applications. I know it's a little early, but you guys can start the process now for college. Applications really become available in the end of August, and you can start getting them out in early September of your senior year. Watch for college application deadlines when you start doing your applications. Some schools have early decision and early action, and they want those applications in before November. We suggest all your college applications next year be in by December. Some of you may have heard of something called the Common App. It's an online site where you can put in your generic information, generic essays, all your activities, sports, and then send that off to multiple colleges without having to redo that generic part. You guys can start that process now. If you want to do the Common App, the generic part of it, you can sign in as other and start that process this year. If you have any questions, please come down to guidance. If you play sports and you want to play sports in college, you must fulfill the requirements under the NCAA eligibility rules. You must be in college prep courses, and if you need further information, please ask your guidance counselor. Is it possible to change my electives? Just stop down to see your counselor, and you can change your electives up until the time school starts in September. We want changes made prior to school so that you get a smooth start to your school year. Also remember, if you're going to be changing your courses, even electives, in the summer, some courses have summer reading programs, especially the AP courses. So you don't want to jump into a course in the end of August and not have done your summer work. Okay, so the future is in your hands. Get your forms filled out, bring them back to your English teacher or guidance, and you're free to go.